Here are 30 facts on the impact of World War II on civilians. World War II was one of the deadliest conflicts in human history, resulting in the deaths of an estimated 70 to 85 million people. Civilians were directly impacted by the war, with an estimated 50 million civilians losing their lives as a result of the conflict. The war resulted in widespread displacement, with millions of people forced to flee their homes and seek refuge elsewhere. Food shortages were a major problem during the war, with many people suffering from malnutrition and starvation. Many countries implemented rationing systems to ensure that everyone had access to essential supplies such as food and fuel. The war also resulted in a shortage of medical supplies and personnel, leading to increased mortality rates among civilians. Women took on new roles during the war, working in factories and other industries to support the war effort. Children were often separated from their families and sent to live with strangers or in institutions to keep them safe from the conflict. Many civilians lived in fear of air raids, with bombing campaigns causing widespread destruction and loss of life. The war had a profound psychological impact on civilians, with many people suffering from anxiety, depression, and other mental health issues. The Holocaust resulted in the systematic murder of millions of Jews and other minority groups by the Nazis. Many people were forced into forced labor or internment camps during the war, where they were subjected to harsh conditions and mistreatment. The war had a significant impact on children's education, with many schools being closed or destroyed during the conflict. Many people lost their homes and possessions as a result of the war, with entire neighborhoods being destroyed in bombing campaigns. The war resulted in the displacement of millions of people, with many fleeing to other countries in search of safety and security. The war also had a significant impact on the economy, with many businesses and industries being disrupted or destroyed. The war led to the development of new technologies and innovations, including advances in medicine, aviation, and communications. Many civilians took part in resistance movements against the occupying forces, risking their lives to fight for their freedom. The war led to the establishment of the United Nations, which was founded in 1945 to promote international cooperation and prevent future conflicts. The war had a significant impact on international relations, leading to the emergence of the United States and the Soviet Union as superpowers and the beginning of the Cold War. The war had a lasting impact on the environment, with widespread pollution and destruction of natural resources. Many people were left with physical and emotional scars as a result of the war, including injuries, disabilities, and trauma. The war also had a significant impact on cultural heritage, with many historic buildings, monuments, and artifacts being destroyed during the conflict. The war led to the establishment of the International Criminal Court, which was created to prosecute war crimes and crimes against humanity. The war had a significant impact on global migration patterns, with many people being forced to leave their homes and seek refuge in other countries. The war also led to the development of new social and political movements, including the civil rights movement and the women's rights movement. Many countries experienced significant population shifts as a result of the war, with some areas becoming more ethnically diverse as a result. The war had a profound impact on art, literature, and other cultural expressions, with many artists and writers producing works that reflected the turmoil and trauma of the conflict.